Good evening. On the forum this week, the question was asked about how you can train joint locks without actually applying joint locks. Now, to my mind, it very much depends on the context and what your objective is for when you're joint locking. If you're joint locking for submission grappling, say, then really there is no substitute for actually sparring with somebody and learning to apply the joint locks against resistance. But the other point that I made is, from some perspectives, the joint lock really is to facilitate other things like striking, and certainly the way that some of us apply our Karate-Jitsu is just that. A joint lock facilitates a head strike. So what I want to look at here is something I've talked about before, which is universality of technique, how to apply a technique in multiple ways, but how you can therefore train that technique and apply it as a joint lock. And the example that I'm going to use here is what I know as Soto Uki. Some people call it Uchi Uki. So what I've got is a movement coming from outside to in. Now crucially, I'm coming down at a 45-degree angle, approximately 45-degree angle. Taekwondo people tend to do it very laterally, and you just lose so much power that way. Really, it does have a downward movement as part of it. You can spiral the spine much more effectively that way. So how would I apply that? Well, if you look at some of the kata, what we've got here is a strike. So what I've got is here. So if, say, Jake was to be controlling my lapel, I've got here and here. Now when we understand that, what it means is we can actually train this against a focus mitt. So this is the kind of the point that I'm trying to make here, and to illustrate what I was saying by text, is I can train this. So I've got focus mitt, and we can do all sorts of drills mixed into this. You know, we can put in 2 focus mitts, so we can be doing a hammer and another hammer and all sorts of things. So how is this a joint lock? Well, if Jake wants to throw me a straight punch and I can slip it, it's here. So this block, that we know isn't a block because it just doesn't work as a block, is actually really quite a powerful joint lock. So I train it here, for example, then I apply it here. Okay? For those of you that like intricacies, I want to seize not on the hand but as far down the wrist as possible, and I'm resting just above the elbow at the base of the funny bone. To those of you that like pressure points, it's triple 1 11. To those of you that don't like pressure points, it's where the median nerve comes out and runs down the arm, and it's just here. It's very, very powerful. So that's the objective here. This is one way of training joint locks, by training striking, by training the focus mitt. So I hope that makes sense, and I hope that is of interest and of use to you. Thanks for watching, and thank you.